Hi, it's Lori from Common Sense Home and
Duncan.
Duncan, you remember your name. Good job. All right. Today.
Only the third try.
Shoot. Today, odd thing, but I thought it was worth sharing. I want to talk to you about why I just recently purchased 50 pounds of sugar from Costco and what we're going to do with it. Now, I realize that with all the keto diets and various other things going on now, keto, low carb, paleo, primal, yada, 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 that refined sugar is the devil. However, I find it to be a useful devil in our kitchen. Obviously, one can use sugar for baking, cooking, that kind of thing, as a sweetener. But it also makes a darn good preservative. When you put sugar in your jams and your jellies and your fruit preserves and things like that, it doesn't just add flavor and sweetness, it helps to preserve the color, the texture, and the flavor and the nutrient value of your fruit. That is because sugar is hydrophilic. It sucks out excess moisture. Thanks, Vanna. It sucks out excess moisture, and so it helps that fruit maintain its firmness if you use a light sugar syrup. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use the El Cheapo super thick syrup like you used to find in the old canned fruit, but just a little bit of sugar in your sugar syrup, and it will help greatly increase the shelf life of your canned goods. And in case of emergency, there's a use that has generally gone out of practice, but you could use it in case of emergency. Like honey, sugar is actually quite good for wound care. Back in World War I, before they had antibiotics and various other things, they used to do doctoring a lot more simply. And some of the stuff is starting to come back because it did work. And you didn't get things like antibiotic-resistant bacteria. If there was a festering wound, an open wound, they would actually pack it with a sugar poultice. And the sugar, you're cracking me up. The sugar will suck the moisture out of the wound, and it will reduce swelling and inflammation. And because the sugar is tying up all that water in the area, it makes it unavailable to the bacteria, and so they cannot grow and thrive in that wound. Just a little something in case, something really awful happens. So, field medic type of thing. We have, as I said, I bought 50 pounds of this stuff. Another reason for me stocking up on so much at once is that we have had a series of pretty crappy seasons for growing stuff. And I heard last year, 2019, that the sugar beet harvest was way down compared to what it had been because so many of the fields were wet and muddy. I saw it around here. Farmers tried to get in beets because it was so wet in spring. They were hoping to get a short crop. They couldn't get them out of the field in fall because it was so ridiculously wet.
Soil here, the tractor was down like this deep.
And it was just nasty. There's mud everywhere. So that's most of the sugar in the US, the cheaper sugar is beet sugar. And if the price of beet sugar goes up, it's also going to drive the price of cane sugar up. I tend to stick with organic cane sugar because sometimes now at harvest time they're treating the conventional cane sugar cane, I should say, with glyphosate prior to harvest to make sure it dries down more evenly so they can increase yield slightly. They're not allowed to do that in organic, at least not at this time.
Thankfully.
And sugar has an amazing shelf life. It will suck up moisture from the surroundings, which is why I'm repacking it in a Mylar, because this stash will probably last us, I had this bucket full and another bucket half full, the big bucket, the 5 gallon. I think that lasted about 1.5 years. So, but we were chiseling it out of the bucket because I bought a 25 pound package. So,
even if it does solidify, you can use it.
Yeah, you just beat it apart.
You're gonna need a hammer.
Yep, or a mallet, or a large young man. So, I'm repacking this in Mylar with oxygen absorbers and moisture absorbers. So, I just took off the top of this, and we had big Mylar bags that were suited for I think these were ready to fit inside a 6 gallon bucket or 5 gallon bucket. And I cut these in half and made them into smaller size bags. I'm gonna get that in there. Feeling lucky? You can do it, Doc! And I could keep them in the plastic, but as I mentioned, sugar is hydrophilic, so go ahead and put that in the trash stuff. And it will soak up moisture. So hold it so that it doesn't accidentally tip. So by repacking it in the Mylar with a couple of moisture absorbers and an oxygen absorber, well, we don't probably could get away without the oxygen absorber, but they've been sitting around for a while, and believe it or not, oxygen absorbers have a limited shelf life. And these have been sitting around a while, so I'm going ahead and putting some in with my sugar.
Keep it looser, easier to use.
Well, that's the moisture absorber more than the O2 absorber. But anyway, now we need to get this sealed. Whee! That's fun. All right, I'm gonna get this lined up. And we're gonna seal this part way.
Always be very careful with this part.
Yeah, this is ridiculously hot. They have specialized tools for this, but I picked up this old straightening iron for $2 at the thrift store, and it also gets the job done. However, if you're gonna do a lot of sealing, you may wanna invest in an actual bag sealer. And will make it a little less likely for you to burn your paws. But we like to live dangerously. Donk, what are you doing? Okay, shove this out of the way, wiggle this down a little bit. That edge still stays crazy hot, so you want to be careful not to handle it immediately, because even once it's sealed, it's going to be hot for a bit. And squish out some of that extra air so it squishes in or fits into the bucket easier. You got it done. And seal. All right, where'd I put my marker? Ubiquitous Sharpie.
Ever so handy.
All right, 10 pounds organic cane sugar, because all these bags look alike after a while. And you might think you remember stuff, but yeah, and the date. So you can keep track, why to the what, which you packed it first. And I've got 5-gallon bucket, and I got one in there that we checked earlier. Want to get the other one loaded in, Duncan?
Still a little hot, but I think it's cool enough. Yep.
And once you get that in there,
Shove.
and got the lid. Where'd the lid end up? Is it over here?
The lid!
The lid! We've lost the lid. Oh, it's over here. I wipe it down, wipe the dust off.
Ah, that's a good thing.
Um,
Good thinking.
I do like storing anything that I'm putting in 5-gallon buckets, capping them off with these Gamma lids, because they are way easier to get open and close, like so, as opposed to using the pry bar things to try and break into your container over time.
Way easier.
The only problem is that I have, in some cases, some of my Gamma lids had developed small cracks on the top here over time. So that's not so great. Not 100% airtight. I think we've got about a dozen of these Gamma lids, and I think 2 are cracked so far. So I don't know if they were subjected. I mean, we try to keep everything that we've got in storage at pretty similar temperatures. You know, people comfortable temperatures, not too hot, not too cold, so they shouldn't be getting extra brittle. But for whatever reason, we have had a couple failures, so watch for that. We just cheated, and I use hot glue gun, patch them up, and reseal them. So anyway, you know, food prices always keep going up. They don't ever seem to go down. So sugar is one of those things that you can stock up on, and it will last an extremely long time, years. So if you are shopping and you spot a good deal and you want to stock up, go ahead and go for it. Just, You want to watch out for moisture because it will turn your sugar into a brick. And make sure that if you're sealing it up for long-term storage, put it in something that's going to be mousy proof. Unwrap, well,
Mouse,
big rats,
ant.
yeah, big rats could probably get into this. So if you have rat issues, use metal, not plastic, but this will protect from mice, ants, and other vermin that also have a sweet tooth. So plan accordingly and keep stocked up, and yeah, keep a good stash, and we'll be back. If you've got any questions, leave a comment below, and we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.